Well, safeguarding is a big responsibility for anyone to give consideration for, but certainly as teachers, we need to consider the needs of those individuals that come under our care. We're not professionals, of course, so as teachers we just need to be alert to those that may be at harm or may have suffered harm, and be alert to the signs that are present. There will be, and there is, in the case of working at Kendal College, a safeguarding team, and that will be the case in any organisation that is dealing with vulnerable young people or even adults. It comes under the Children Act, and of course mentions in the summary that we need to look after the needs of the children. We want children to be healthy, we want them to enjoy their life and achieve what they want. We want them to be safe and to be able to make a positive contribution to society. And so we need to work together with the arrangements that are in place to safeguard children. That means to provide a safe environment for children or learners in general, particularly in educational settings. And so for us as teachers, we need to be alert to identify children, learners, vulnerable adults who are at risk and who could potentially suffer harm at the hands of others. And we can provide services to help those ones. Because of course we're in contact with children on a daily basis, or the learners generally, then we're in a good position to observe any outward signs of abuse, possible changes in behaviour and so forth that would give us rise to suspicion or alert us to the fact that something might be amiss. And so there's legislation in place that we need to consider. Some of the things we considered when we were looking at this in the classroom were interesting. We discussed that, if we weren't sure, it was still better to report it to the safeguarding team in the college or whatever institution we're working with. And don't just wait, just go about and do that right away. And that might mean getting somebody else to look after your class just while you do that. And as for the learners themselves, we need to be available for them. In a part of our teacher training we learnt about pastoral care. That's being interested in the welfare and the needs of our learners. And this goes that bit further really, particularly in this very serious area of safeguarding. It's a sad fact, isn't it, that we have to think about it really, but it's a very important part of teacher training. And so as a teacher then, we need to be available to our learners, be someone they can confide in a professional way, of course. In itself, safeguarding isn't just a standalone issue. It encompasses and it kind of ties in all the legislation that we've looked at in our teacher training. We've talked about equality and diversity and the Human Rights Act and Every Child Matters, and somehow it all links together. So when we speak to learners, we really need to, of course, think about the fact that they need to be alert, they need to be informed that if they confide in us, if they tell us information that would lead to a safeguarding issue, it isn't information that we can keep secret. So we need to be open with them, make sure they know exactly where things will lead to if they reveal information that would be potentially lead to a safeguarding issue. It'd be good for us too, particularly to listen to what they have to say. And one thing we discussed when we were talking about this in the teacher ed class was not to ask leading questions. Don't lead them down a path. Let them talk to you openly. If necessary, you can ask for clarification. And maybe it'd be good to make notes, particularly of times and dates and so forth. So it's a big responsibility. We need to live up to that and work at it in the best we can to be as good teachers as we can for our learners.